terrified. I didn't have any time to process really what was happening. All I knew was I was trying to find my boyfriend and I was trying not to get hit. I was just like, holy crap, there's so much going on. I'm trying to protect myself, like just trying to get out of there. I just had that instinctual like flee feeling to get out of there.
Did you worry that you were going to be seriously hurt?
Yeah, totally. I mean, even when it was happening, I realized, I knew that they were like trying to crack my skull open on the curb and on the rocks in the planter. So I was like understanding that much, but it really seemed like they were trying to hurt me as much as they could. So, yeah.
Were there any words exchanged with you and these people prior to the attack? Did you feel like it was just completely random and unprovoked?
On me, definitely. I think the whole rush was basically unprovoked. I think the smoke bomb happened and they just were kind of like, charge! We're gonna be like some army raid thing. And so they just charged, and I was actually on the sidelines. I was watching, taking pictures, and that was my other thing I was concerned about was my camera. It's my baby. But I didn't exchange any words with anybody. I was just standing there.
What did you do immediately afterwards? Once I'm assuming you finally got up? Is that what you were able to do?
Yeah, I finally got up because they left. Like, they were actively pushing me down, and every time I went to get up, I felt like I was being thrown down. But the second that I was up and like, okay, oh God, and I like kind of got myself, I couldn't really see well either because there was like pepper, like mace in my eyes, so my eyes were really stinging. But I immediately went to look for my partner, he was like right a couple yards away from me, and his face was just drenched in blood, and his pants and his shirt were like covered in blood. And so of course, like, nothing about me hurt anymore, and I was like, oh, let me help you, and medic, trying to make sure he was okay, because he looked pretty gnarly.
So what'd you guys do then? Did the cops come, or?
No, I honestly, I didn't see any police until...
Hi, my name's Nathan Amigo, and I just want to say that we had an excellent year in 2015. Many of you guys have been there and taken part or celebrated with us in the accomplishments that we've had advocating for our rights and pushing back against the narrative. And I just want to let you guys know that while we had an amazing time last year, we're still here. We're not going anywhere. And 2016 is going to be even better than 2015 was. So I just wanted to make this video almost as kind of a little teaser to let you guys know what's coming up. Our abilities are growing to put out very professional content, and we are working very hard to get the new organization up and running. And that's something that I know that you guys are going to be very excited about. Trust me, good things come to those who wait. So 2016 is going to be an amazing year. We got to get a few more things in line first before we are ready to relaunch. But we're still here, and we're still working hard to push forward and challenge the narrative with dialogue. We want to have an open conversation about race that no one else is willing to have. We want to have an actual dialogue, not a monologue. And many people are ready for that. They have been asking for a conversation about race. But unfortunately, because of the social ostracism and economic disenfranchisement that individuals who speak up for the rights of Europeans experience, there really hasn't been a dialogue. It's been more of a monologue. So we want to provide that conversation to the public, and we want to do it in a way in which the public will find what we have to say as non-threatening, as something they feel comfortable doing, because this is kind of, it's an awkward thing for us and for our society. It's something that usually makes people feel uncomfortable and puts them on the edge of their seat. And we just really want to put people at ease when we have this conversation. So there's a lot we have coming up in 2016 that we're working on to ensure that we're not only able to advocate for ourselves, but also that we do it in a manner in which we're having an actual dialogue, where we're not just shouting at each other. And I think that's going to be something that's going to be really powerful, that I'm excited about. And so, right.
Open white nationalist Nathan D'Amigo is the new hero du jour of free speech on YouTube, apparently. In the wake of the Berkeley riot, where he struck a female anti-fascist protester unprovoked. The protester's name was Louise Rosalma. She's been referred to as a Moldilocks by the right-wing and right-wing sympathetic media, because they have to rob your name. I've talked on this channel before about Trigglypuff and all the other hippie punching labels that are used to denigrate left-wing activists, to turn us into cartoon characters. That's the premise. These nicknames are to depict us as a caricature of the angry hippie. That's because it facilitates dismissing our arguments. So Nathan D'Amigo gets to have his name because he's a white man, and that's his privilege. He gets to be a person. He's his own person. And Louise Rosalma gets to be the subject of contempt for the Gamergate Pepe crew. That's her new position, is to get memed into oblivion and to serve the narrative of she's asking for it. I remember a lot of people, when Richard Spencer got punched, being angry that feminists online supported the Richard Spencer punch, or at least were unfazed or unsympathetic to him being punched, because he was not directly provoking the hit. So when a lot of us pointed out that Spencer went down to the DC rally to agitate Antifa, and that's why he got punched in the face, got a lot of comebacks. The feminists in general got a lot of comebacks of, are you saying he asked for it? Because, of course, they're challenging the idea of, feminists being bent out of shape over rape. Those same people now are talking about the D'Amigo punch as, oh, well, she was asking for it. And the spectrum of she's asking for it goes from her Facebook profile containing a joke reference to Inglourious Bastards about claiming Nazi scalps, which I have that reference in my Twitter profile too. It's just a joke. It's just free speech, you guys. It doesn't mean that she went there looking to physically scalp people. The fact that she went there to challenge the Nazis, the alt-right, MAGA protesting contingent, does not mean that she went there to commit violence. To the contrary, there's a lot of proof that the Proud Boys, Gavin McInnes's little gang of white supremacists, went there looking to avenge their pride over the Richard Spencer punch and over the last protest that ended in them getting their ass kicked and chased off. So, I'm fascinated but not surprised that the same people that always blame women are blaming women now. I mean, Louise Rosalma is a perfect adversary for this movement. This streak of misogyny has always been a component of the right wing. I mean, and the reaction to Rosalma being punched is so unsympathetic and so very Gamergatey. She was a slut. That's one of their arguments. That left wing politics. Get this. Now, I thought the Gamergate crew loved porn stars. I thought they loved their porno, and feminists were trying to take their porno away. But apparently, Louise Rosalma supposedly, this hasn't been confirmed yet, but supposedly people found pictures of her posing nude online. And then they found like this God's child blonde, version of her when she was younger, where she looks like, Taylor Swift, and they compare these two images: the picture of her as Taylor Swift, and then the picture of either her in her modern image, which is a bit more bohemian, and talk about how this girl was ruined. She was ruined by left-wing social justice feminism politics because she does not have an image that is tailor-made. These shitlords, these man babies, they are always so offended when a woman does not have an image that is manufactured for their consumption. God forbid she does her hair the way that she likes. God forbid the way she dresses the way she feels comfortable. I think that Rosalma was a perfect victim for them, and so that this is the kind of woman that anti-feminists want to punish. This is the kind of woman they want to get punched. This is the woman they want to watch getting punched. They want to see someone like Nathan D'Amigo, a traditionalist, ex-convict, white supremacist, punching a woman like Louise Rosalma in the face because it's a strike for traditional masculinity. We cannot depend on the good faith of the other side of this argument because it's never going to come. I think that often we on the left make the mistake of assuming that if we point out hypocrisy, that suddenly reactionaries are going to start abiding by their own principles and hold themselves accountable in the way that they hold us accountable. It's all trolling. It's all troll. When people, I've had a couple of other YouTubers ask me, when is it, when should we debate these people? Is debate healthy and constructive? I think discussion is constructive with an upwards limit, meaning you can have a conversation about social issues, but you cannot allow someone like Nathan D'Amigo to construct a conversation about a settled issue. And the settled issue is white nationalism. There is no conversation to be had about white nationalism. There are no new points to be made. There is no iteration of it that's not going to end like Nazi Germany. That's done. It's settled. It's the same thing as Stalinism. Look, I'm an this is always the hardest thing to get out. An anarcho-communist. That's my political philosophy. That's my political stance. That I can tell you There's no conversation to be had about authoritarian communism. There's no conversation to be had about Stalinism or Maoism. There's no conversation to be had about that version of communism. It's over. It's already been proven that authoritarian communism does not work for the people. So I'm fine with that conversation being closed and over with. Because, I'm not going to be a nut job and keep banging my head on the wall of my ideals when in real life they've been tried out already and have resulted in a clusterfuck where a bunch of people were killed and starved to death and tortured. But, this kind of benefit of the doubt that the skeptic community gives white nationalists is exactly what they want. See, they don't win arguments. They know they're not going to win an argument. They know that their principles are not going to win an argument. They win just by you saying there's a conversation to be had about this already settled issue of ethno-states. It's been tried out. It failed. It's over.